So again, this is the Transgender Day of Remembrance, November 20th, services all around the world, and we gather in solidarity with folks to remember names and stories and not be forgotten. And still, the threat of violence for our trans siblings is real, and living is hard, and carrying that weight is not an easy thing. And so it's important for us to share in that remembrance together, and commit again to acts of solidarity and justice along the way. This litany that I will share is kind of I'll do the non-bolded parts, and we'll ask people both online at home and in the room if you're able to share the bolded parts of this litany. Do you need, I have another copy here. And this litany actually is created for communities of trans and non-binary people. And so there's sometimes we have the pronouns of we as our community, us, and sometimes it's written for allies. So they and them are appropriate pronouns in this kind of generalized litany. So kind of choose the way that you would like to speak to this. In the middle of the litany, there is a time where it is written for cisgender allies around the world to confess. And so that's a time for our non-binary and trans siblings to receive our confession. Any questions? Okay. It is with great joy that we celebrate our transgender siblings. We give thanks for each of our trans kindred.
Who embody the uncategorizable and boundary-defining nature of the divine.
Like all of humanity, they too are made in the divine image.
Reflecting the divine imprint.
Today we remember our trans siblings or our community who have been lost to violence.
Unjustly sacrificed on the altar of society's hatred and intolerance.
This is these next few are the pieces of confession. We confess our society's indifference and unlove.
And our own complicity in allowing these tragedies to continue.
We ask that forgiveness and justice bear fruit in us.
We are sorry.
We honor them and send our love to their spirits.
With prayers for their peace and well-being.
We set the intention to do better.
Provide safety and care.
Nourishment and acceptance.
To the most unique and vulnerable among us.
And now let's continue all together. And to normalize our or their place in our communities.
Cherishing the ways we teach about goodness and love.
We ask for wisdom in going about creating a world
That is safe and welcoming for humans of all kinds.
knowing that when the world is safe for trans people,
It is safer for all of Earth's children.
we ask that the minds and hearts of all people on earth
Will be open to practicing kindness, hospitality, friendship, and love.
toward those among us who bear the divine image in uncommon or surprising ways.
And that our governments and systems will work for their protection.
Undoing patterns of oppression and violence.
Fostering liberation and joy for every human being.
May our transgender family be safe, healed, provisioned, and happy.
Sharing in the abundance of earth.
The blessings of nature, joy, community, and freedom.
And the blessing of home. May it be so.
And in that spirit of naming and solidarity and story, this is another document that is curated in a transgender remembrance website of folks whose lives have been cut short in the last year since last November. In the United States, and there's been more around the world, 48 folks of trans identity had died this past year too early, and half of them by suicide. And being complicit in those deaths is what we mourn today, as well as those who were shot, stabbed, and other violent ways. And so there's candles on the table in front of me. As you feel moved to come up and light a candle for a person. There's also a microphone. I don't want you to hear my voice the whole time. But if you could actually take the microphone or come off mute if you're online and name the name of someone who you see on the screen, or if you have another name in your heart, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone to you so you can voice that name as well. Any questions? So this is a silent, slow experience of moving through these stories. And you can say just the name or any part of the bio that you see on the screen, or something of a line that moves you. And I will continue to scroll as people share names. For an example, Cam Thompson, 18 years old, loved, cared for, died too early.
Kai Banks, 31, died too young.
those in the advocacy community, this is a familiar face. She is an iconic figure, Miss Major. Miss Major, veteran of the 1969 Stonewall protests, you embodied such grace and such love and such a safe environment for trans siblings for decades. You will be missed and your legacy lives on.
J. Flores, 23.
Lady Java, 82.
For those fans of RuPaul's Drag Race, Lady Java was a iconic figure who came out of retirement to mentor drag performers on RuPaul's Drag Race. So, pretty amazing figure in the trans community.
Apollo Moon, 26, and Roy Mora, 15, both from California and both loved.
Thank you for modeling efficiency.
Linda Bacara Moran, and Luisa Rivera, gone too soon.
Hope Laika Youngblood, 49, and Zara Weinberg, 36, talented musician and scientist that were both loved by their community.
Cam Wynn, age 21. They and their partner Lily Dawn, also, who died this year. They will be missed. And Zach Scratton, 34. Treasured by friends, family, clients, and colleagues. Lily Dawn, age 22, and Leah Joy, age 37. Leah Joy was an active member of the LGBTQIA+ community and made a huge difference in too short of a life.
Megan Jordan Cridley, 22, a beloved activist for liberation and promising scholar, loved and lost too soon.
Onyx Cornish, 18, from Idaho, organizer for reproductive rights and parent to their cat Sammy. Gone far too soon.
Emma Slabach, 24, and Kamara Woods, 27.
Blair Sawyer, an amazing creative and a loving friend. Gone too soon.
Christina Hayes, age 28, gone too soon. Carmen Wells, age 25, an amazing individual.
Tahiri Broom, age 29. Her humor and her joy were infectious. Orlasia Wright, club performer. They're still investigating her murder. She was found in a driveway of a house not associated with her with several stab wounds after a night of dancing. still under investigation. 25 years old.
Aziza Z. Barnes, 31, from Mississippi, a decorated poet, receiving the 2015 Parnet River Prize for their full-length poetry collection titled I Be, But I Ain't.
Kelsey Elam was also killed by stab wounds in an, again, unrelated part of St. Louis. 25 years old, fierce advocate in the trans community, and flawless beauty.
Rick Alistair Newman, 29, dearly loved by his community and by the earth.
Jill Heathers Bouvier, 54, beautiful, from Nebraska. An Army veteran, went on to work for the Army Corps of Engineers, apparently giving amazing gifts and working with dangerous explosives.
Raven Syed, Lawrenceville, New Jersey, gone too soon.
I'm gonna have to take this one, Team Michael Rock. I'm so sorry. Bianca Jiggly Caliente, may I call you Jiggly? Castro Arabejo was 44 years old, a legendary queen even prior to her run on RuPaul's Drag Race. Bianca was from New York and adored by family and friends. She was an activist, an artist, and a beauty. Uh, may she rest in peace. Her death was unfortunately due to a very fast moving infection due to existing illness, and she is deeply missed by the community. And Dennis Chucker from New York. And Dennis's partner, says Jari, was Dennis was light personified, a sweet partner, a protective sibling, and a passionate child, and was an educator.
Thank you, Ruth. Also from New York, Elisa Ray Shoup, 61, Army veteran, made history as the first person in the United States to be legally recognized as non-binary when she successfully sued the state of Oregon. Thank you, Elisa Ray, for your witness and power and passion. And Caitlin Renetta Benoit, 15, an amazing student at Rochester School of the Arts, an artist, a creative, and someone who struggled and still tried to bring beauty into the world.
Parker Savares, 15 years old, honestly just a baby. High school theater troupe, lots of acting. Unfortunately, they are one of many who was misgendered by their family in their passing, but adored by their family and friends. And Sam Nordquist mentions that he's from New York. Sam is actually from Red Wing, Minnesota, was killed in New York where he'd been living for quite a long time. He unfortunately had been tortured for a long period of like years, tortured for a long period of time, held against his will, and no one deserves to go the way he went, unfortunately. Um, so his family is, still working to find the justice that he deserves for what happened to him. So big love to his family, and yeah, another one gone way too soon.
Thank you, Ruth.
Sydney Sid Lee Phillips, 22, who had contagious laughter.
Irviana Johnson, age 25, from North Carolina, devoted auntie, um, loved to dance, bold, creative, amazing soul. And Kenesha Coco Chantel, age 26, performer, nurse, gifter, community. Coco is so beloved. Tessa June, age 21, aspiring author, musician, gift to the world, gone too early. And Tierra Love, Tori Jackson, age 37, regularly attended and participated in Rebirth Cathedral of Praise, and her bishop, Dr. Flournoy, said that she made Christian faith accessible to those who wouldn't set foot in here otherwise. She opened her doors when no one else would, and she came in like she belonged because she did. A true angel for so many. Thank you, Tori.
JJ Godbey, 26, from Canton, Ohio. Gorgeous. As well as being transgender, which there are many transgender drag performers, talented drag performer and makeup artist, and in a city like Canton, that is a big deal. Learning to sew so they could make their own costumes, and also supporting the local queer community. And Laura Schuler, 47, Cincinnati, Ohio. Laura is remembered as the Beyonce of her Cincinnati community. I'll go ahead and round us out for Ohio, as like right next door to where I grew up. Mika Shabazz, 46 years old, Columbus, Ohio. She was an extraordinary dancer and dance teacher, and a talented writer who used her talents to highlight Black history, because intersectionality is what is going to save us all. As a high schooler in 97, her poem Awakening About Emmett Till's Murder won the NAACP Act So Award.
Amazing soul. Wow. Thank you, Ruth. A few more folks.
Aubrey Demaroon, 25, from Grove, Oklahoma. She was proud of her Cherokee heritage and was beloved by her family. She promoted empowerment for Indigenous women and Two-Spirit people. Thank you for your work.
Gone far too soon. Artie Cassidy Beowulf Gibson, age 23. And Charlotte Fosgate, age 17. Brilliant, creative, beloved people. Gone too soon. Hi, Sonny. Shiperius Dupree, age 32. Hard-working and loving father to his wife and 3 children. We mourn with them all.
Johnny Walden, Texas, social media coordinator at Black and Pink National and working with folks affected by the carceral system. And Kyla Jane Walker, 39, Austin, Texas, a fierce advocate for the weirdos and misfits of this life.
Amen. And Rose Machuca, age 24. Worked at Target. Always so helpful and kind with everyone at work. 24 years old. Rose's fiance described her as wonderful and so bright. The two had been together for 11 years since they were little kids and had just gotten engaged. This is our last state, by the way.
Leah Smith, 21, Cornwall, Vermont. Apparently smart as hell, double major in computer science and statistics. Up until this year's NCAA ban on trans athletes, Leah was a proud member of the women's swimming and diving teams. And Phoenix Cassetta, Vermont as well, student at St. Michael's College, dedicated activist who served as the vice president of Common Grounds, a safe space for LGBTQI students and their allies.
Oh, sorry, there was one more state.
Surprise, Virginia.
Yeah, first surprise, surprise. Okay. 3 more. Say their names.
Casey Rhea, 31, and Nora Horwitz, 38.
Stay there, Andrew. We'll do one more.
And Michelle Kemmerer, age 80, from Bellingham, Washington. The first transgender captain in the Los Angeles Fire Department. Michelle pushed for greater inclusion of women and people of color in the fire service.
Oh, one more. Oh, maybe 2 more. Such a sad list. Keep on going. If she wasn't loved by the world, she
And if
was loved
she
by
wasn't loved by the world, she was loved by us, and we accepted her for who she was. Amri Dior, 23. Her cousin described her as always a good soul and said that she was always truthful with her life. Another beautiful person who died too soon.
It is evident in our list that the risk of trans and non-binary people in the world is still very high. That list is too long every year, but we will not stop remembering the names and the stories and the people, and continually work for justice and care for our community, in whatever bodies or stories they show up in, because all of them are sacred. And just, I'm sure you all noticed, but the inordinate amount of Black trans women on that list is just kills me every year when we remember those names and stories, because they've been holding the brunt of a lot of our pain for a lot of years. Any other closing comments?
Striking on how young
Yeah,
the greater majority of them are.
very young, yes. And I'll lift up the words of Dr. Molly Marshall, who said that a year ago that United is here for such a time as this, creating resistance and love and response in that transformative way to a very hateful world. So let's take on that call and never forget. Thank you, those online. Next week is Thanksgiving week. We will not be doing chapel, but we're back the following week with contemplative chapel and a special address by Dr. Marshall with a barbecue lunch afterwards for those in town. So, thank you.